Hey, welcome back to those of you who watched yesterday. To those who did not, my name is Melissa and I am on a mission. I have accepted a challenge to post for 365 days straight. I am on day 2. And if you missed my first video, I went through my background, uh, where I started, where I want to go with this journey. So if you missed it, check it out. So today I want to talk about something I touched on a little yesterday, how I self-published a children's book. Um, Back in 2011, my husband, I, and our 2 year old, our son was 2 at the time, we went to a boat show. And, just, walking around looking at the boats, and our son was loving it, enjoying every minute of it. And he just couldn't get enough. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay and, play on the boats. And he was all excited. And so I decided to take home some of the pamphlets, some of the books that, you can go through and just look at the different boats. And um, so, yeah, I took that home and I thought, yeah, we'll just let him play with it. And, he can look at the pictures. And, so that night I put him to bed and I was thinking, let's pull the boat book out and just let's start making up some stories or something. And so I started reading, making up a story, and based on the pictures on the boats. And he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And after that, every night I would put him to bed and he would want me to make up a story with those pamphlets. um, so after that I thought, there's got to be stories, children's books about boats, just fun stories, animated and exciting. And so I, jumped on the internet and I actually did not find anything. Um, I think I may have come across a steamboat. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it was real old and it wasn't very exciting. And that honestly was the only book. So, I went to bed and thinking, gosh, if I could only write a book, get it published, and how exciting would that be? So I started thinking about it, and I actually I went ahead and started writing down, some of my ideas and started reading them to our son, and he loved it, but it didn't have the pictures, so that was missing. Um, but I was just talking about adventures the boat was going on, and after a while, I thought, wow, this is fun. Maybe this is something I want to get into. Maybe I want to try and write a book and get it published. So I went ahead and I went online and researched a lot about how to publish a book. I looked at doing it all myself, but I thought it would take a lot of time and effort, and I didn't know a lot of things that needed to be done. So I found Halo Publishing, and it's a company online. I bought a package through them and I submitted my manuscript after I completed it. And they walked me through the process um, you know, of what I needed to do. They, went through and, they would proofread, and it got to the point where it was time to illustrate. And I I'm terrible. I can't draw. My stick figures look terrible. So I couldn't even attempt to illustrate the book. So I looked at what they offered, what that company offered, and it was a little too much that I wanted to pay for at the time. And honestly, looking back at it, it really wasn't that bad. I should have just gone with it. but I went ahead and found my own illustrator. I found someone at Sinclair who actually was working on a portfolio project. And he thought, well, I could use this for my portfolio project. I thought, perfect, So he had never illustrated a children's book, and I had never worked with an illustrator. So it was a learning process, and I paid for some of my mistakes. And it was a big process, and I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun. It would have been easier to use their illustrator, but I got to, I would sit down at meetings. We'd go to Panera, and I would explain my story and tell them, what I imagined, and the colors and all the different types of characters and what I wanted to look like, how I envisioned it. And he would come up with his idea, and it was great. It ended up working out well, and I ended up self-publishing the book. And actually, I have it right here. Here's my little book, and it's Stewie the Speedboat and the Adventures of Lake Lely, and this one is Stewie Meets New Friends. So this is the book, and I had it self-published, and yeah, so there I am. Oh, right there I am. So yeah, that's my book. So I got it published, and yay, I was so excited, and this is gonna, be huge. And so then I realized I gotta pay for my own book. I had to pay to get my own copies. You got to pay the printing company, and then they got to ship it. And I guess I didn't figure all that out into my budget when I first started. And so I learned a lot along the way. But once I ordered some books, I set up at festivals, at fairs. I went up to a local lake that we have, and they would have craft shows there. And I would just sell my books wherever I could. I had some events around here, meet the author, and I would sign the book. And I did a couple readings. Yeah, I did a few things. I had a local library actually put my book on the shelf, and it was exciting. It was fun, but it did take a lot of time. It took a lot of time. Um, on the weekends when I had to set up and do these craft shows, and I had to pay for the booth, but then I had to make it look exciting. So I had to pay for different things. I bought props and things to make my booth look good, and just all different sorts of things I had to do to market and get it out there. So after a while, I kind of stopped doing it. The marketing, I wanted to market a lot more. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the time. I didn't know how to do it. So someday, I really would love to get my book into more hands, and to show more children my cute little book about boats. Maybe someday it'll take off. But right now that was my first journey. And then I went on to a few others, which I'll probably go in the next couple days. Yeah, so I just wanted to share with you my journey in self-publishing. And please, if you have any questions, how I did it, or things, if you're into self-publishing, maybe I can help you through the process, or give you ideas what to do, what not to do. Just yeah, send me a message, comment, whatever, and I'll get back with you. So for day number 2, I thank you for watching, and I hope you like my video, and I will be back on tomorrow. Thanks. Bye-bye.